Right, well, mop-up operations are underway in various schools in KwaZulu Natal in preparations for schools to reopen tomorrow following floods devastation. Let's get more information on this. We're now joined via Zoom by the Head of Communications for the Education Department in KwaZulu Natal, Muzi Mahlambi. A very good afternoon to you, and thanks so very much for joining us here on SABC News, sir.
Afternoon and afternoon to your viewers at home.
We understand that, of course, mop-up operations are currently underway, but there are some schools that are, a large number of schools, in fact, that are in fact inaccessible. Will you have to make plans, contingency plans for learners, or will you decide, or will there be a decision made that in fact some learners won't be able to return to school this week?
Yeah, every evening MEC convenes a meeting of senior management where we're discussing the modalities that we can implement in trying to mitigate against this disaster, as it were. We are aware of 101 schools that are inaccessible and 630 schools that are damaged. We are talking to the district and circuit office officials to get this situation on the ground so that it informs our meeting in the evening as to what is it that we can do regarding how the shape and form of our interventions is going to be come tomorrow. But we are aware that there are schools where some of the learners are not going to be able to cross the bridges that were swept away, and some of the educators that were not going to be able to reach the school. So one of the things that we are toying around with as a possible temporal arrangement is to redistribute the learners into various schools where they can access teaching and learning, and at the same time we see how the circuit managers will manage the issue of the educator deployment, as it were. Yeah,
we have a figure right now of 630 schools in the province that have been affected. I mean, that's a large number, and one wonders where you even start. Tomorrow, the Education Minister, is expected in the province. You obviously have to give us some sort of an update about how far you are in terms of those contingency measures that you'll have to make, and in terms of those mop-up operations. I mean, how far are you, and what will you likely be saying to the Minister if and when she does arrive?
We can tell you that the number, we are very much convinced that it's going to be increasing because when we started to have these meetings on Friday, we were speaking of just about 100 schools, but now we are speaking of 630. And each time we have a meeting in the evening, the number keeps on increasing because we keep on getting information about schools that our officials and principals could not access in the last few days. Now that they are able to do so, the number keeps on increasing. So the minister is very much aware, hence she has dropped everything that she was going to do this week and spend 3 days with us here in the province. So that together with the MEC and together with the national cabinet and the provincial government of the province, a strategy could be devised as to what is it that could be done with this regard.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not even the only problem that you're faced with as the education department in the province. There's other problems that have already shown themselves in terms of, for example, learners who've lost homes and obviously then have lost books, have lost work, have lost everything really. I mean, what kind of reports are you getting from some of these schools, and are they able to in fact assist some of these learners who have or might have lost everything in these floods?
You are correct, because we are speaking of the number 57 learners that have died and 5 are missing. But we're saying a school is a learning organization or an institution where many people from all walks of life converge. So it's only tomorrow that we will learn of more learners that we have lost, of more learners that are now homeless, of more learners that have lost their parents and siblings, of more educators that have lost their lives or that have lost their homes. Hence, they will not be able to attend schooling. But with our psychological services, we have devised psychological school that will be affected so that come tomorrow we give support, because we do feel and see the need that is going to be needed.
Yeah, and just finally, I think we're losing signal with you there, but we do understand that today, there's been heavy rains and wind which started again, and I'm assuming that would affect some of your work and some of the mop-up operations. How has that set you back, the fact that the weather conditions have again started up with the rains?
It does badly. We were just in one of the schools in a suburb area that you will not expect that a school in such an affluent area will be so much affected by these rains. The damages there are very huge, and they are busy doing the cleanup, but with the rains that have started, it sets them back. So it's a matter that the provincial government of KwaZulu Natal, led by the Premier, are having a look at it with COGTA as the department, as the lead department dealing with disasters of this nature, leading us, but sectors as well. We are also assisting them with coming up with strategies and that will inform a broader strategy of the province.
All right, Mr. Mahlambi, thanks very much, and good luck to you and the work that you're having to do in the province.
Thank you so much.